inside. Oh, hey, babe. JamiThatsMe here. Listen, I done tried this new company, Caribou Coffee. Is that how you say it? I mean, it was cool. It was all right. If y'all had it before, honey, drop down in the comments. Give me a little piece of what y'all be having in the mornings and stuff like that. Because, honey, I had the caramel espresso shaker. Bitch, what was I thinking? I mean, it was definitely giving more coffee than caramel. I should have said extra on the caramel, just a little piece. Okay, but help us sister out, all right? Anywho, honey, y'all already know I'm not talking. I'm not talking about housewives. I'm not talking unless you giving me likes. You commenting, you sharing, and subscribing. You hear me? Okay. Well, today is the lucky day, and I don't know how lucky we gonna be, but we're supposed to be getting a Kenya Moore video over down to the YouTube, and I am over here twiddling my fingers and thumbs. Like, girl, what's going on? Hello, is anybody in there? Hello, hi, waiting for Miss Kenya Moore, honey. Kenya, you better not come down to this YouTube and talk to us about anything regarding Real Housewives if you're not giving us another sneak promo in that video of the Kenya Moore hair spa and services. Period. Now, I do believe she's only available by appointment on certain days throughout the week. But you better not come down to the people and give us no video if you ain't dropping a piece of promo in it. Period. Because everybody gonna be trying to be tuned in, and you better make sure that you promote. Okay? And give the people a reminder. But aside from that, Kenya's supposed to be coming down to the YouTube, and I haven't heard anything, haven't gotten a peep out of Kenya's page, so I honestly don't know what's gonna happen. All right. But in the meantime, in between time, I do want us to touch on Brittany because Miss Britannica did come down and she had some things to say, and Miss Angela was right there on her heels, tip tappity tapping to clear up or give her little 2 cents or whatnot. All right. We also see that Miss Cynthia Bailey has had a sit down with Carlos King where she does talk about the friendship she has with Kenya, and then we'll get into a little bit of a sneaker peek on the upcoming episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So make sure that you guys are coming in, you doing what you're supposed to do, which is liking up the video, supporting the channel, and let's see. I guess we'll go ahead and start with Miss Britannica. Let's get into that. Let's start with the audio from last week's episode or this past week's episode where they're sitting at the picnic, because of course there's been a lot of conversation about Brit and this whole I lost my license, I may lose my license type thing. So let us check out this clip that's going to lead us into Brit having to pretty much come and speak to the audience. So let's get into it.
To me yesterday that she lost her insurance license.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Based on what?
Right. What do you mean based off of what? Are you confused? What's been going on?
They said she could fit
Wait a minute.
What do you mean based off of what?
Where's that energy coming from with me? I'm licensed as well. In order to lose a license, there has to be cause. What was the cause? That's the question I asked. Britt, to be honest, this ain't energy.
Today is for me.
How? It's always been for you.
How?
This energy,
What's
this
the
is
energy?
a peace offering. You're not coming in peace. I just asked you a question of how did you, on what cause? And you just ate me up.
I'll wait till you're done.
You just ate me up. And you failed to take responsibility for how we even got here.
But why? Read the room.
Why?
Read the room.
Why is she not here?
Read the room.
She mentioned to me yesterday that she lost her insurance license.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Based on what?
Right.
What do you mean based off of what? Are you
Boom, I'm gonna pause it right there because before we go into the top of the part, the bottom part for me is a fucking cackle. I am cackling the way Angela said, whoa, wait a minute, okay? Because Angela was gonna put them things on you. I told you better be careful. She be around Charles Oakley a little too much and you gonna mess around and get oaked the hell up, okay? She was about to oak this shit out of you. You better be glad that they had the lady get up and switch seats. But aside from that, okay, that was just a bit comical. Brit, tell me, so what you mean? First of all, Angela's like, where is this energy coming from with me? Like you got this issue with me, and I'm just asking a question. Like, what do you mean where it's coming from? Have you not been around? Child, these ladies here is a mess, okay? And Miss Angela had to get into some things because I believe she said she has a mortgage broker's license or something dealing with insurance with mortgage or something. But all in all, Brit is a different type of insurance person. But what y'all heard at the beginning, Miss Shamia says that Brit lost her license. She didn't say she almost lost. She said she lost her license. Okay, that is what she said, and I do want us to play that one more time just to hear what Shamia said, because she said she lost her license.
She mentioned to me yesterday that she lost her insurance license.
Yeah.
That she lost her insurance license.
What?
Yeah.
Based on what?
And then you hear Brit saying, yeah. So you're confirming that you lost your license, and that is why Drew is like shocked. Like, what? How? Why? Then you got Angela like, based on what? What would make her lose her license? Like, what you talking about? Well, a lot of people had things to say. Okay, although Brit is an insurance agent, you had fans that are also in insurance as well, and they have been backing up what Angela had to say. But let's get into what Miss Brit said first, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you guys real quickly here. And she says, hey, insurance agent here. I think it's important that what happens in our personal lives can affect our professional lives. I'm no stranger to that. I've seen so many cases online where people have been fired from their jobs for behavior due to social media access or camera phones. Now, I will do a little pushback on that. Okay, I'm gonna give a little pushback, just a little piece, Brit. Okay, just a little piece. Typically, for myself, all right, not you, me. When I've seen where a person may have been reprimanded by a job, punished, suspended, fired from a job, based on social media, is something that they've done currently, recently, not something that they did years or decades ago when you were the age that you were. When you're a teenager, quote unquote, early 20s, we expect you to do a lot of dumb things, right? But since you're so many years removed from that, one would expect you to operate in a certain manner. Hence the reason a lot of us were disappointed with Miss Kenya Moore. So, and it resulted in her suspension, right? So typically it's going to be, from what I have seen, something that's more recent that you've done. Okay. And it can be recent as in a few weeks, a few months, maybe even within the past 2 years or something. But stop that. If it's something that happened a long time ago and they have an understanding that somebody was trying to embarrass you or whatever, then I don't know about that. But anyway, girl, that's just what I'm thinking. Okay, so I have a little pushback. Not that Brit is wrong completely in what she's saying. It's just that I feel like it's a little different. Okay. But let's keep going. So Brit also says, if you tuned into last night's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, I mentioned my license was under investigation, not lost. Well, people are really going off of what Shamia said that you told her. And in that moment, you did co-sign when Shamia said that you told her you lost your license. You said, yeah. Okay. So that's that. But she's clearing it up as she did on Watch What Happens Live. She says mortgage loan officers are not versed on licensed insurance agents. It's a completely different field of work. This is true. When your job is a public trust, it's important to investigate claims of fraud. All right. She says hashtag class dismissed. Hashtag still got love for her though. All right. So this is what Brit said, and it resulted in Miss Angela saying, FYI, this is the case for any state licensed real estate mortgage insurance. Okay. No shade. All right. Now she also said at the bottom now, because I don't read the top. Let's read the bottom. She says state licensure in Georgia requires a just cause for investigation, meaning the licensing board must have a valid reason, such as a violation of laws or rules, to initiate a probe into a licensee's conduct. I hold 2 professional licenses. My question still stands. What is the cause? Okay, because FYI, this is the case for any state license, real estate, mortgage, and insurance. Hashtag no shade. You trying to check me? Well, let me check back in. Okay, and gather you is what is given from Miss Angela Oakley. Okay, so that's what Angela is saying. So again, my question still stands. What was the cause? Right? And I'm kind of with Angela on this now. The reason that I'm with Angela is because not only because a lot of people are focusing on the images of her when she was supposedly a teenager, right? And I feel like teenager isn't 18, 19. But anywho, a lot of people are focusing on the images that were released of her or put out of there or whatever, because they were already out there. But they're talking about the images, whereas some people aren't focusing on the fact that Kenya highlighted that she was an insurance fraud. Okay, so people have had claims about her, all right? Maybe being a scammer, different things about her committing some type of insurance fraud. So I guess that's the angle Brit was using to say that her license is now being investigated because of those claims of what Kenya had posted on that board. But here's the thing, just because she put that on public display at an event does not mean that your license is up for question or up for grabs. Because in my opinion, even though I'm not an agent in insurance or anything like that, in my opinion, this is not a fact, but just my thoughts, my opinion, they would need more. So I would think that the clients that Kenya may have posted complaining about your behavior as an agent, those will be the people that will likely call into question and require or create some type of situation that would make things go into an investigation for you, versus it being just something that happened at a function. Just because somebody said that you did something, at a function, I don't think that's going to probe some type of investigation. I would think those individual people likely getting together, going to the board or whoever as a collective is what is likely going to make you be investigated. So I don't know, Brit. I don't know. I feel like at this point, I hate to say it, you're going to probably have to present an email or something where somebody hitting you up like, hey, we heard about what happened at Kenya's event. And because of what happened at Kenya's event, we're going to now investigate you, for people to believe it. But even with that, people still going to question who the email came from and whether the email is authentic. So, I mean, you're probably damned if you do, damned if you don't, high key. But I'm willing to believe Angela's, side of it, right? I see someone in the comments over here saying insurance professional here. Angela is correct. Brit continues to be ridiculous, they say. I mean, you're not the first person to say that. All right. A few people have said, that are in insurance saying that Angela is right. And Brit, that's not how that goes. So I don't know. Y'all have to let me know. Any insurance people watching this, especially in the state of Georgia, let me know your thoughts about it, especially if you dabble in the same exact type of insurance as Brit, because I would think that what's being said on display at an event wouldn't be enough if the claims were already out there. I feel like the claims that were already out there about you was enough to warrant an investigation, not what she posted about you. That's stupid to me. And if that was the case, that's dumb. So you mean to tell me because it's put on display now y'all want to investigate her? So y'all never took the claim serious before then? Yeah, some about it don't sound right to me, but I'm gonna let y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, honey. Either way, girl, good luck, okay? But let's hop over and switch gears, because I do want us to check out a sit down that Cynthia Bailey had with Carlos King, where she kind of talks about the friendship and everything when it comes to Kenya Moore. So let us go ahead and get into that real quick, okay?
What I would like for you to address, if you're comfortable,
okay,
is Kenya did retweet a moment Nene Leakes talked about you going where the wind blows when it comes to friendships, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much not being everyone's friend. I'm sorry, being everybody's friend, not standing for your true friend. When you saw Kenya retweet that, did that hurt your feelings?
Of course. I mean, like I said, I haven't spoken to her since the whole incident happened, but not because I haven't, reached out to her. I reached out to her during that time, but at this point in the friendship, we've had our ups and downs. I respect people's space and their time. I'm not getting ready to run Kenya down to try to make any kind of amends with her, because I didn't do anything to Kenya. I just came to the salon opening to support her, and I was disappointed in how she handled the situation, because again, I literally was just I had maybe been in a group situation with Brit twice. I didn't know Brit, so I wasn't emotionally invested. I could care less how I wasn't concerned with protecting Brit because I didn't know her. And again, as a friend of the show, the filming that they did, I wasn't even around them that much at that point. But I knew Kenya, and that's why I said to her, I know you. I wasn't there. I'm not saying that what she did, and I've said 155 times, what Brit did was wrong. She should have never brought up a gun. You know what I'm saying? And what I also think is interesting is that I am the only one that said anything to her in that moment, but all the ladies walked out. And she doesn't seem to have an issue with them now.
Yes,
I think she still speaks to whoever she feels like speaking.
When y'all film this? When did y'all film this? Yes, she do.
With the rest of the cast that clearly didn't support it, clearly thought it was, you know, beneath her or whatever their own terminology is. But I don't know. I feel like I still have seen her with some of those ladies. I sat right there and watched those same ladies in their interviews and say how they felt about the situation. So I don't know if she's, you know, upset with them now. I don't know why all of a sudden, because she made the decision that she made, that it's a thing between Kenya and I. Regardless of what happened on Girls Trip, however long it took us to get back, if Kenya and I were the best of friends, let me be very clear when I say this, I would have still had the same reaction. If Kenya and I had never fallen out in our lives, I would have still had the same reaction at the salon. I was disappointed in my friend. I did not want, you know how long I've been hearing about Kenya Moore hair care? You know how much blood, sweat, and tears that woman has put into trying to put that vision together for herself and for Brooklyn? And to see it be overshadowed by something that she could have got Brit way down the line. Kenya's been doing this for a long time. She could have got Brit. We were headed to Jacksonville, Grenada. She could have got Brit another day, you know? So it just is upsetting that people are so focused on stuff that doesn't even like make sense at this point. Like, and then even bringing Nene into it. I'm in a great place with Nene. I just talked to Nene a couple of weeks ago. She asked me to do her YouTube show. Like, I don't have no problem with Nene, and I don't have a problem with Kenya. But if Crystal does something that I think is beneath her, that is deplorable, and I can't hold her accountable and tell her that that's how I feel, then I don't want to be friends with Crystal or anybody else. Or the same for you, Carlos. If I see you, if I read about something or hear about something, like, Carlos.
Baby, I might have to go slide over there and tune into that just a little piece. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all finna be mad, but I kind of agree with Cynthia. I didn't think I would. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen her be more friendlier with Brit when I feel like Brit wasn't innocent in this. I do feel like, I will say this, Cynthia, I do feel like you did try to kind of make an excuse for Brit by saying she made a mistake. And I don't think it was a mistake at all. That's just the only thing I would say for me that Cynthia was wrong in, was saying that she made a mistake. Because she also highlighted the fact that Brit was wrong and Britannica should have never, said anything that she said, but then you turned around and said it was a mistake. And I'm like, no. That's just, to me, I see that as the same way as Britannica saying that, I hate that I even allow her to trigger me, but there's no excuse. And I'm like, okay, don't give an excuse then. If you feel like there's no excuse, then don't say there's no excuse, because you led with an excuse. Okay. At the end of the day. So that's how I kind of see her when she says the whole mistake thing, because it wasn't one. But I do kind of agree with Cynthia. Like, at the end of the day, you really hurt from your own actions. That ain't got shit to do with me. If anything, all I did, because now we know they ain't been talking the entire time. So her starting to kind of, I guess, be cool with Brit or whatever the case is, seems like it may have shown up a little later than it did, because once the incident happened, she didn't talk to her. Maybe Kenya felt like, as my friend, you shouldn't have checked me on the show or something. I mean, on the camera, in front of the cameras. I don't know. But all in all, I do kind of agree with Cynthia. I just, you made a decision. You can't be mad at me because you made a decision, and then as a friend, I told you that ain't cool. Like, you better than that. What that got to do with me? And then you got other motherfuckers that may have crossed you or may have said this and that, walked out, didn't support whatever, like, and you still cool with them. Like, I'm sorry, I agree with Cynthia. I have to agree with Cynthia just a little piece. Now, y'all can feel like Cynthia is fake. Y'all can feel like she's a two-timing ass friend. You can feel however you want to feel. But at the same time, I feel like friends should be able to tell you about yourself. Right. And it not be a situation where I don't ever want to talk to you again because you told me about myself or you. And I don't feel like it doesn't mean to me that Cynthia doesn't have her back. Right. At that time. It doesn't feel like it's not that she didn't have her back. It's just that, damn, like, this was supposed to be about you. And for you to make your moment about somebody else, like, that ain't cool. Now, I do feel like, in my opinion, if you know how, like, all the ladies were sitting at Shamia's house, chit-chatting, relaxing? If Kenya would have came over and exposed Brit there, I don't feel like Cynthia would have been as upset with her then as she was at her grand opening. I think that's more so of why Cynthia may be disappointed. Because Cynthia been on this show long enough, at least I would hope, to know that they're going to be exposed. Even Porsha kind of touched on that on her channel, with the whole exposing the people or whatever. So, I mean, that's what happens. But I think it's about how you do it. because the fans was gonna expose it either way it go. You know, the fact that you was out here sucky zick. You was down there sucking zick, and it was gonna get out. The people was gonna learn that you was over there being one of them webcam girls or whatever it was, you know. Um. So yeah, like I mean, anywho, girl, I'm over here thinking about the episode, but we'll get into that, you know, at a later time. But y'all, let me know your thoughts about the matter at hand and whether you feel like at the end of the day, regardless of what Cynthia is talking about, you still feel like as a friend she's just wrong because she still shouldn't be hanging around or being cool with Brit at this time. Okay, so and I do believe Cynthia when she said what regardless of what happened on girls trip, if this situation still would have happened and we would have been the best of friends still, I still would tell her about herself. I believe that she would. I believe that she would have. You know, I think that so much was coming at I think so much was coming at Kenya as far as what she did, the ladies walking out, the network wanting to make a decision on how they was gonna move with her. I think she was cool with Porsha at the time because she knows that Porsha went up to the network, as Porsha said, trying to advocate for her to stay on the show and stuff. Maybe she felt like Cynthia didn't do enough. Maybe Cynthia didn't show up enough. Maybe Cynthia could have, I don't know if she talked to the network on Kenya's behalf, and maybe that's the reason Kenya is not featuring her, you know. At times when I really needed you to be a friend, and I'm not saying you can't check me, but when I need you to be a friend, you know, you weren't. You didn't go up to the network to, you know, advocate for me or something. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know, you know, but I know one thing. She at the time, Kenya didn't want to hear nobody correcting her because even when Shamia was trying to tell her to chill, she was like, "No, you don't tell me that." Because that BITCH threatened me. And although Cynthia was not there to hear the young lady threaten Kenya, I wonder if Kenya still told Cynthia about it to where Cynthia was aware. Maybe she was aware, she just wasn't there. Child, ain't that something? And I don't know. And maybe Kenya still felt offended, you know, because it's like you were fully aware of this situation because I told you about it. Then now you trying to tell me that I shouldn't have did what I did when you know I'm responding to what it is she did to me. Whew, child, who knows? I don't. But y'all leave y'all thoughts down below on that situation, honey. In the meantime, in between time, I do want us to slide over and tap into just a little piece, okay? So let us go ahead and get into a little bit of this sound bite of next week's episode.
I feel really good about this trip. I have handpicked everyone who is coming. Hey, yeah. If anybody brings any drama, I'll just cuss their ass out. Get some of that divorce stress out on them. Yeah, bitch!
Okay, so all the ladies on the
I feel like we're missing somebody.
got off the flight.
Is this everybody?
On the car. Except for Angela, honey. Angela, the only one still trying to get her shit together.
I left the house a little bit late. Traffic wasn't accommodating, and I missed my flight.
I think Angela was on another flight.
Oh, she was on another flight. Okay.
Angela probably missed the flight because she seen there was a heat wave in Nashville and she had to go home and go get that fan before she can bring her ass back on that plane.
It's hot. I'm sweating.
I didn't even notice the girl had missed the damn flight.
She do got that fan.
Porsha, we've been riding for 3 hours. Where the hell are we going?
This hop ride gotta take y'all away from drama.
I should have got us some moonshine.
That's what I need too, because I got allergies back, so I'll be stuffed up.
Wait, do you have your adenoids?
I don't know. I've had a nose job.
I'm gonna get something this summer. I can get some of this back fat gone and my skin back normal.
I ain't changing nothing about this body. I was even gonna get my titties redone. I said, you know what? These men don't even deserve new titties.
All right, y'all. Brit has allergies, as you guys heard. She got her nose done, but she got allergies. So I know a lot of you guys say that she sounds stuffed up and everything, but you know, maybe, just maybe, it's because she has allergies and it's not so much as her nose job potentially. Maybe, and we already know that Porsha went back on her word anyway, talking about these men don't deserve new breasts, but she just said on her channel that she will be getting her breasts redone. So that's going to happen. So it is what it is. You know, speaking of Porsha's channel, she also talked a bit about Kenya Moore and how she said that Kenya Moore was actually remorseful after everything went down. Matter of fact, let us get into that for a second before we go. All right, let's check this out real quick. See what Miss Porsha had to say. Okay.
The story from Brit's POV. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see the aftermath from Kenya's POV because the show. I like that the episode told the story from Brit's POV. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see the aftermath from Kenya's POV because the show decided to fire her after that incident. I will say that I feel like right after it, Kenya definitely was, again, also remorseful as Brit, and was ready, would have been ready to sit down and have a conversation. So that's all I can pretty much say on that side, on her side.
All right. So it seems like she was remorseful immediately. I don't know if according to Brit, she is yet to hear an apology directly from Kenya. But according to Porsha, Kenya was very sorry, but the network wasn't hearing it or having it. And so they went ahead and put a pause on that. All right.
You like a little dirty.
Let me go ahead, and there's another section here that I want us to get into really quickly.
For what she did. And what she did was taken accountability, has taken accountability for what she did. And what she did was wrong, right? The pistol comment, wrong. So I'm knowing that is over here. So I have compartmentalized the situation to where Brit and what she played is over here. And now I am now watching her on the show isolated in her feelings about what Kenya has done. And watching her talk to her husband, man, that was difficult. It really, really was. But, Brit's much younger than me, so they probably had phones or whatever they did. I think, what the hell they had back then? For me, did they have that car phone? Remember that car phone they had? I know Mercedes had the car phone in the middle. And then I know my daddy used to have that, he used to carry a suitcase with a phone in it.
Was it hard when she told him
so
everything?
I don't know, just watching it, just felt like, just in general, for anybody to be exposed, you can see that hurt and you can see that shock. You're new to a reality show, and now you're on the reality show. You show Joe Tail, and now somebody is
showing a bigger thing,
showing it in a different way, but they are doing it in a way that would harm you future moving forward. And I don't know, I guess her talking to her husband and him, having to be strong for her.
I have to disagree. I'm sorry. For me, as far as harm her future moving forward, who is the her you're speaking of? Because you're not speaking of Brit. If anything, it harmed Kenya's future versus harming Brit's future.
Was just difficult to see. You know what I'm saying? You can really see the hurt for her, which was kind of crazy. And then the ones who.
So that's that, you guys. That's what Miss Porsha had to say about the situation. You guys, she goes on to talk more about the episode, but you guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below about everything that we just talked about so far. Of course, I am JamiThatsMe. Be sure to like the video. Make sure you're following me over on the Instagram, the Twitter, the Blue Sky, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim, on a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel the pool.